All right, so this is digits 14-1, questions 1 and 2. So the question for 1 says, how many faces, edges, and vertices does the three-dimensional figure have? So you kind of have to use your imagination a little bit with these problems. Let me get some different colors to draw in so you can see. Okay, so the first one, and remember your shapes may not be exactly the same as my shapes, but hopefully they're going to be similar. So this first shape is a prism, and we know because it's flat on the top and it's flat on the bottom. So let me write that down. And all of the faces are rectangular. So we have this base down here on the bottom. Okay, that's one of the faces. So there's one red one. Then we've got the face up here on the top. That's one. Then we have the face over here on the left side. That's one. Then we have the face way in the back. You can't really see it. That's a face. We have a face right here over on the right side. And last but not least, we have the face that's on the front. So I know that's a little confusing, but what I would recommend, Maya, if you're having a hard time visualizing this, is to get like a box or something in your house, like maybe if you have a tissue box or a cereal box. Those are all prisms that are similar to what we have on our question. So if you want to actually get a 3D box and count the faces in that way, that might be a little bit easier for you. So if we count each of these faces, we know that we have 6 faces. Okay, so that's the first part of the question. The next part of the question asks us how many edges this shape has. Okay, so we need to count the edges. So we have an edge here. Whoops. One edge here. We have an edge here. One here. One here. So that's 4 edges so far, but that's not all the edges that we have. And again, this might be a little bit easier if you find an actual prism in your house, like a cereal box or a Kleenex box or something like that, so you can count them. There is, there's an edge here, so that's 5. We've got an edge back here, 6. We've got an edge over here, that's 7. Then there's an edge up here, 8. There's an edge here, 9. An edge back here, 10. And let's do brown. We have an edge right here, that's 11. And last but not least, we have an edge here. So that's 12. There's 12 edges. Do that in black so it's a little easier to see. Whoops. So our edges, we have 12. And then the last thing that we need to know is how many vertices does this shape have? Okay, so let's count those. The vertices is where your edges meet together in a point. So this point here is a vertice or a vertex. This point here is a vertex. Right here. Come on. Doesn't want to write for me. That's one. Here is one. There's one back here. We got one back here behind where we can't really see. It's a terrible color. Let me pick a different color so you can see it better. And we have one here. And we have one over here. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertices. Okay, so probably the easiest way for you to be able to count everything is to find an actual 3D shape in your house that is the same as the question they're asking you, and then count them. So as far as this three-dimensional figure for number 2, let's go ahead and count the faces. So we have 1 on the bottom, 2, 3, 4, and there's one over here, 5. Okay, so the number of faces, this pyramid, this is a square pyramid because we named the shape for the bases and it's a square on the bottom. So this has 5 faces. Count the edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so we have 8 edges. That one's definitely harder to see, but again, hopefully you can find something in your house that will help you. And then the vertices is again where all the edges meet, where the sides meet up together to make a point. So we have a vertice here. Uh-oh, my dog's gonna bark. 2, 3, 4, come on, work with me. Doesn't want to write. There's 4. And then 1 at the tippy top. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertices. Okay, so hopefully that will help you. Like I said, my best advice to you is to see if you can find an actual shape in your house that matches what's on the screen so you can turn it around and touch it and hold it and move it and physically count. So hopefully that will help you. If you have any other questions, send me an email. Thanks.